My 600-Pound Life, Vianey and Allen, who were on Season 7, Episode 20 that premiered in 2019. Allen's mom had him when she was 17. He has one younger brother that's a year younger than him. Dad didn't stick around, and so he was alone a lot, and at the age of 2, he fell down the stairs, cracked his head open, and it led to some speech problems. At the age of 5, his mom remarried, and his stepdad became his best friend. But at 10, they would get divorced, and he said that it really was a loss losing his best friend. And that's when he really started to put on the weight to cope with the loss. At the age of 13, he was 200 pounds. He kept skipping school because he kept getting bullied, and eventually he just dropped out. By the age of 20, he was 400 pounds, and at 21, he was arrested because he got in with the bad crowd and they started stealing cars. At the age of 30, he was 500 pounds, and then he met his wife, Vianey. They met on a dating site, and they got married when he was 35. Vianey has a brother as well and said that their mother growing up was not good to either of them. She was abusive, and it was just a very bad situation. And she said that this behavior scared her a lot and that she would turn to food when she was scared. At the age of 7, she was over 70 pounds, and she said that her mom acted very disgusted by her and treated her poorly and would verbally tell her how disgusted she was by her weight. That made her feel very unloved and rejected, and by the age of 8, she was 100 pounds. At the age of 10, her mother rented out one of their spare bedrooms to this guy and his son, and the son would always threaten that he was going to essay Vianey. She said she lived in constant fear, and she thought that if I gained more weight, that he wouldn't do that to me. Sadly, that did not stop him, and he did end up essaying her. At the age of 13, she was 200 pounds. By 15, she was over 400 pounds. Around this time, they discovered that her mom was very sick. She was an alcoholic, and her mom just stopped talking to her and did pass away afterward. At 18, she was over 400 pounds, and then when she was 25, she met her husband, Allen. They live in Chicago, Illinois. It is a very far distance from Houston, Texas, and so it is too risky for either of them to travel at this point, so they do a Zoom call with Dr. Now. He gives them the plan, and he says each of you should be able to lose 50 pounds per month. So Allen goes grocery shopping for their new diet plan, but he picks up some Oreos and a couple of other things, and he knows that his wife has severe depression and says that if she quits all of her snacks too suddenly, she's going to get depressed, and he's very concerned about that. It is month 4. Dr. Now says, I think you guys are ready to move here, so get on down here. They pack up, they bring a couple of friends with a U-Haul. Then while they're driving, the mattress flies out of the back of the truck, and so it's just not going well. After 4 days at 1,100 miles, they finally get to their apartment. They get there right before they close. Unfortunately, they don't have the right paperwork, so they can't give them the keys that night. And because the expenses of the apartment, the traveling down there, all the food that they ate while they were driving, they don't have enough money for a hotel. The friends are PO'd because they don't know how they're going to get home, and also they have nowhere to sleep for the night. Vianey finally calls up her aunt. She sends them money. They're able to get a hotel, and then the next morning they unpack. It's a really tight fit in this little apartment, but they get everything in there, and the friends are able to get back home to Chicago. Go to my next video that's already posted, and I'll talk about the second half of the episode.